Hi guys, SDGRSNF88 speaking with another layout update. Now, quite a lot's changed since the last one. Not particularly on this area along here, but to the little town scene. Now, I've tidied it up a bit, but there's still a few loose bits and bobs when we zoom in. But there's a lot has changed over on this area. Sorry. First of all, we'll start with the road. As you know, in the last update, most of it wasn't glued down. I think this section around here, around the buildings was, but apart from that, none of this was glued down. So since then, I've glued this all down, all the little level crossing here for the tram line. I've even done the centre bit of the rail. I've also done the bit down here to sort of like the end of the road. Not sure if you can see it behind the tree. I've just put the tree back in position. And around the back of the war memorial. That's all glued down. And the houses fit in there pretty perfectly. So I'm going to probably put the circus back up here, of the vehicles there. They'll go back into position on the grass and stuff when I finish that, of course. Another bit that I've done, which took ages, was the pavings slabs. Now, I'm not sure if you can zoom in over here. They are a bit uneven. It looks a bit crude when you zoom in, but from a distance, it doesn't look half bad. Reason for this is because... Sorry again, I keep on getting stuff caught in my throat. But reason for that is because this is a not very even surface. This is actually polystyrene. All of this is one massive block of polystyrene, or I think a number of bits which all been made to the same level sort of thing. And you literally you put your hand on it, lean on it, and it's very easy to sort of dent it and stuff. And obviously where buildings have been, and obviously where we've leaned over to put the grass and all that on. When me and my grand first built the layout, about 7 years ago, the polystyrene has dented a bit, which was no problem when it was just grass. But when you put sort of like these little paving slabs, which are very, very fickle, on top, they sort of like wobble about a bit. They really need a flat surface, but they've all been glued on with not polystyrene, PVA. So they are down now, and they're down really solid. And I've done that all the way around the tram stop, which will be there. I do plan to get like one of those little Peco bus stop things to sort of add on the side, either one of the sides. Most likely probably look better on the uneven side over there, because it sort of fill up that gap sort of thing. Over there with a little tram stop sign maybe, and that will go there. I've done them all the way around here, in front of the houses there. And in the cottages, I've also done up to some of the cottages. Again, you can see where I've had a bit of trouble trying to get them level, but that will all blend in when I get onto the grass. As you can see, funny enough, I have done the grass on those two little gardens there. It's that blend mixed green blend from Woodland Scenics. I will add a few bushes and maybe some flowers there. And also you can see there's that white patch where a previous little thin hedge was connected onto that house. I will try and get some of those and add those to sort of separate the gardens and stuff, to make it a bit more rather than the gardens being exposed onto the front there. As I have yet to do that all the way along the rest of this. But I've also done the pavings along here. It's a bit more even along here. Again, all the way up to the cottages. And around here, took a bit of time to make all these weird sort of shapes there. But as you can see, they constantly get closer and closer to the cottages. Sorry, there's bits of debris from what I'll show you in a minute, still lying around, a bits of ballast. And I still have yet to do the paving slabs up to that front door. That house still needs to be pushed back a bit, as you can see, and those not glued down yet. But I need to do the paving slabs to the front doors on that one there, as well as the grass. I've also done the paving slabs around here and to the war memorial. That was very, very troublesome, to say the least, to try and get that level there. But you can see there's a slight dip there, showing you all my imperfections. But the war memorial covers that up just right, and put it back in position. It's hidden behind the tree a bit, but it seems a bit silly to have the tree there, but I'm not sure. I might take it away. It's a really old one. As you can see, the leaves are not too realistic on it, but the funny thing is I've got a funny thing, the base is precisely the same as a Woodland Scenics tree. So whether or not I will get some Woodland Scenics expensive trees like come to mine, I do not know. Totally depends on how much I'm willing to spend on this, because as you know, I'm trying to do this to a good standard, but try to save money sort of thing, because the chances I get to run this layout, especially at my stage in life sort of thing, is getting a bit hard, you know what I mean? So I probably won't be able to use it as often as I would like to. So I want to do it at a cost, just in case I have to move on and start another layout sort of thing. But anyway, so the tree's all right there for the time being.
Anyway, what else have I done? Well, I've done the ballasting. As you can see, I've used that buff ballast, the colour that didn't match the Compton Martin stuff that I mentioned last week when well, not last week, the last update, which I showed you down here. That's all been hoovered up since. I thought, well, I've got a bag of it, it's been opened, so I might as well use it, and obviously a tram line would probably be kept a bit more clean considering it goes through the centre of this little town. So I thought that a bit of buff ballast there, would go nicely, and it has gone down quite well. There's still a few little loose bits to hoover up, especially bits of polystyrene which have been chipped up from, again, what I'll show you in a minute. It'll all be blended in with the grass from like what I've done over there, all around here, and as will be all the way around here as well. Whoops, that tree's not glued down yet, but basically these splodges you see here is where I've used a water and PVA solution. It's also created these weird sort of like greenish stains. I don't know how that got there on the cobbles, sadly. But then again, oil leaks from cars, so I can use that as a sort of an excuse, especially considering it's on a little tram crossing where they would have to wait. But I think what that is, I think that's the colour coming out of the mat when I added the PVA water solution. But it's gone down really well. It's really, really solid. That's not going anywhere. Listen to that noise. Solid. So, so yeah, that's been done. But one of the main things I have been working on is, you can probably see it in shot now, is the rock face. As you know, that was polystyrene with different coloured blends of like powders and, no, well, not powders, but yeah, like really, really fine turfs and stuff on there. So I decided to replace that so it blended in with the rock face, which came out quite well along here. So what I did is I chipped away some of the polystyrene to make it move it back a slight bit, and also then I put masking tape over the top of it, and then I added a thin layer of newspaper. I've ran out of PVA, and it's, you know, I've ran out about a week and a half ago now. Well, about a week ago. And it's getting really, really annoying because, you know, I'll get to a certain stage and I run out of a certain material. So I was going to put another layer of paper on top. But I'm starting to think whether or not to. I think I'm just going to paint it as it is. What it saves on paper. I know I have plenty of it, but it saves on PVA, which is, you know, one thing I will need a lot of in, you know, for doing all the ballast and other bits along the layout sort of thing. But also, you know, it's one of those features on the layout again where I don't think that I'm going to be touching it too much, if you know what I mean, like, you know, having to move it quite a lot. Besides, it's polystyrene underneath. The polystyrene is quite spongy, so there is a bit of a movement to it, but I'm sure when the paint's on there, it will blend in really, really nicely. It's a bit flatter than I wanted. Yeah, I wanted a bit more rock face like, but it's hard. It was too, you know, hard chipping away the polystyrene. You either chip away too much and make it look a bit really, really, you know, with these stupid like really large caverns on it, or you know, it just you know, either it was too flat. But come to think of it, look at it quite closely, you probably can't see it from the camera, but it hasn't come out too bad. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint it, and ironically, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the last update, but the paint that I used to paint that one, I had real trouble finding it, and I was going to use a different colour, which was quite close to the tone, but amazingly I went into a model shop, and guess what? I found the right colour. So I bought 2 pots of these paint, which will hopefully allow me to do all of this along here, because I use quite a lot on there, because they're really small pots as well. And also when I get round to building that little rock face down there, I'll also use the fine earth turf like I have here. You can see for sections like that. I don't think I'll be doing very much like large, you know, sort of build up areas. I'll probably do it like along the top like that, but yeah, you can't really do it on this sort of area around here because there's not many ridges, if you know what I mean. So I'll be sprinkling that along there, and that hopefully you really bring out sort of these like little, you know, ruts and stuff, you know, to make it look a bit more rough as a rock face. And you probably noticed there is a certain element to the track missing, which is the whole corner for the outer loop. Now I still have yet to film the running video and the last 2 reviews for Wagon Review Week, which will be coming in the next few weeks, which is, as I've kept on saying in quite a few of my recent videos, but this has really, you know, obviously I can't do a running video with that section missing, so reason for that is I was trying to get out all the little bits of ballast and stuff, because there was this weird ballast that I put many years ago around the edge, and it was really, really tough, so I just glued it down with PVA. So I had to chisel it away, and that involved sort of like moving the track so I didn't damage it. So I've removed the track, and while I was at it, I removed this point here. Now that was a Hornby point, and I wasn't going to replace it. But it's one of those things with the yard that when you do it, it's best to do it to a sort of a good standard first time round. With Compton Martin, sadly I made the massive error of using Hornby points. Now Hornby points are alright, don't get me wrong. But they are very, very, very bad when it comes to sidings. Now, I say sidings because with sidings you use small industrial locomotives, or locomotives run very, very slow. It's fine with like a large locomotive, like a 7F or something with quite large pickups, or that could basically a good sort of size wheelbase that could go over the sort of points. So I'll compare here. Not sure if you can see this. That no, that's Hornby. I don't want to compare that. I should have one behind me. Here we go. We have a pair of points here. This is a Peco right hand, which I will be replacing the Hornby point with. And here is a Hornby point. Now, as you can see, this little blade here on the Hornby one is extremely large. It's made of plastic, and this is what engines keep on getting stuck on. And here's the Peco one. As you can see, it's about a third of the length of the Hornby one, which means it's much better for small, small wheel-based locos, if that's the correct word for it. So what I'm doing is I'm replacing all the points. There are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs of points in total going in this yard, and they're all going to be Peco, which I have all got there. So all the Hornby points have been made redundant. Now I know Brazil 2044 came up with an excellent idea on how to make these work, but I wasn't sure whether to do that, and I decided in the end just to go out with all Peco points, because I had a few already. So I thought, well, there's not much point in changing over now. So let's just once you do one, you do them all, rather than leaving one there, then ballasting the whole lot, finding it doesn't work with like Flash, because I know Flash really has trouble with points, especially considering she's a shunting loco. So I thought, might as well do them all in one go, then ballast it all down so I won't have to rip up the ballast, and it costs more in the long run to replace it. So what's happened is I bought all these points, and basically I have these 4 Hornby points for sale. So if anybody's interested in these points, do leave a comment below. I'll just give you a quick look at them. They're in pretty good condition. There's maybe the odd little tiny sleeper on the end missing, or I think it's just this one. But the points are in very good nick. They just need there's a bit of ballast stuck to the edges of some of them, but they are all in very, very good condition. They all work, don't get me wrong, they all work. The only reason why I'm replacing them is because the yard will need very, very slow running locos, and the thing is, if I got a really, the engines will run really, really slow over them, providing they got a good sized wheelbase. But with Flash, she has literally got a really, really, really tiny wheelbase, so literally like 2 of her wheels are on that in one go, sort of thing. So they all work, so don't get me wrong, they all work brilliantly. All the mechanism works perfectly fine, as you can just see there. It's just that I don't want to sort of put them in my box and leave them abandoned, never to be seen again. I would like someone to use them and give them a second life, sort of thing, because they all work perfectly fine. I'm thinking for selling them a couple of quid each, around £5 maybe. I'm sure I could come to some sort of arrangement for anybody who wants them, but basically I just want to make a tiny bit of money back on them, so I can to sort of counterbalance what I spent on the points. Also, I've got this loads of boxes along here which contain bits of scenery and all that I haven't really used, or it's been replaced at some point, including track and stuff. And I'm thinking of having a bit of a spring clean, because really it's getting to a sort of stage up here where, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff up here, and it's getting hard to move around. So obviously Compton Martin will be moved under the board at some point, but we'll be split in half and moved under the board. But until then, I really need some space, so I've got lots of bits and bobs and stuff to sort of sell. So I'm thinking about selling some of that. So if anybody sort of interested in looking at any of that sort of stuff, I'm just a couple of quid. It's basically just to make space up here, sort of thing. So yeah, that's about it really for this update. Oh yeah, another thing is tarmac paint. I forgot that. I used a big bottle of some stuff. Where's it to? It's a really, really cheap paint. It came out nice and matte.
and grey. The only problem is it sort of comes off in your hands, and I don't like that. So I'm going to have to try to figure out something. So the quest for finding the perfect tarmac paint continues. But I'm sure I'll find something in the end. I think I'll just go buy a bottle of like Woodland Scenics tarmac paint or something, because I know that that comes out the right colour, and I know it's a bit expensive, but it's the right colour, there's the right amount in there, and it doesn't come off in your hands, which is perfect. So anyway, that's all for this update. I was hoping to get it in 8 minutes, but as per usual, I've blabbered on. Yeah, I hope to relay that track soon as soon as I paint and put all the little bits of scenery on that, and I hope to get on and film that running video and reviews, which will be coming soon. So that's all for now, and this has been SDJRSNF88 speaking, and thanks for watching.